The UK government has just announced one of the most sweeping immigration crackdowns in recent history. And if you're planning to move to the UK, apply for a visa, or bring your family over, this video could change everything for you. We're talking new rules, tougher checks, higher income thresholds, and thousands of visa applications being rejected every single week. This is not a drill. Stay with me until the end, because I'm going to break down exactly what has changed, who it affects, and most importantly, what you need to do right now. Welcome back to UK Visa Diary, your number one channel for honest, up-to-date, and practical information about UK immigration, visas, and life in the United Kingdom. If you're new here, welcome to the family. I'm so glad you found this channel. We cover everything from student visas and skilled worker visas to family reunification, settlement, and British citizenship. So if any of that matters to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because the UK immigration rules are changing faster than ever before, and you do not want to miss a single update. Now, let's get straight into it. The UK Home Office has announced yet another expansion of its immigration enforcement strategy. This comes just months after previous crackdowns on international students, care workers, and family visa applicants. And this time, the net is being cast even wider. So what exactly is changing? First, salary thresholds are going up again. If you're applying for a skilled worker visa or sponsoring a family member, the minimum salary requirements have increased significantly. The government has made it clear they want fewer low-wage workers entering the country, and they are using the salary threshold as the primary tool to achieve that. This means that many jobs that previously qualified for sponsorship no longer meet the requirements. If your employer was planning to sponsor you, you need to double-check right now whether your salary still qualifies. Second, the net migration target is being enforced more aggressively. The UK government has been under enormous political pressure to bring net migration numbers down. After net migration hit record highs in recent years, both major political parties have committed to reducing those numbers. And they are not waiting quietly. Enforcement operations are increasing, visa refusal rates are climbing, and the Home Office is scrutinizing applications far more carefully than before. Third, overseas family and dependent rules have been tightened. This is particularly important for those of you who have family members waiting to join you in the UK. The rules around bringing dependents, including spouses, children, and parents, have been made stricter. The financial requirements are higher, the documentation demands are more extensive, and the processing times have become unpredictable. Now let's talk about who this crackdown is really hitting the hardest. International students and graduates have been one of the most targeted groups. The restrictions on international students bringing dependents were introduced earlier, but enforcement has now been stepped up. Additionally, the graduate visa, which allowed international graduates to stay and work in the UK after their studies, is facing increasing scrutiny, with some politicians calling for it to be scrapped entirely. If you are a student or planning to study in the UK, this is something you absolutely need to monitor closely. At UK Visa Diary, we will keep you updated every step of the way. The care sector was previously a major route for immigration into the UK. However, after concerns about exploitation and abuse within the sector, the government introduced a ban on overseas care workers bringing dependents, and they have tightened the sponsorship licensing requirements for care employers. Many care companies have had their sponsor licenses suspended or revoked. If your employer loses their license, your visa could be at risk too, even if you did nothing wrong. The minimum income threshold for sponsoring a spouse or partner was dramatically increased. Previously set at £18,600, it has now been raised, affecting hundreds of thousands of families across the UK. Many British citizens and settled residents are simply unable to meet the new income requirement, meaning they are being forced to choose between living in the UK and being with their family. This has been described by human rights groups as one of the most damaging family immigration policies in a generation. The Illegal Migration Act and ongoing enforcement operations mean that those arriving through irregular routes face a near-total block on claiming asylum in the UK. Detention and removal operations have increased, and the government has signed new return agreements with several countries. Now, I always want to give you the full picture here on UK Visa Diary. So let's talk briefly about why the UK government is doing this. The official reason is simple: reduce net migration. The numbers that came out in recent years were politically explosive, with net migration reaching levels that no government had anticipated or planned for. There was genuine public concern, and both the Conservative and Labour parties made immigration reduction a central policy commitment. There is also an economic argument being made that by raising salary thresholds, the UK is trying to attract higher skilled, higher earning workers rather than filling gaps in lower wage sectors. However, and this is important, critics argue that this approach is deeply flawed. The NHS, the care sector, agriculture, hospitality, and many other industries depend heavily on overseas workers. Cutting off that supply of labor doesn't just affect migrants, it affects every British person who needs healthcare, social care, or basic services. The debate is complex, but what matters most to you watching this video is not the politics. It's how these changes affect your specific situation, and that is exactly what UK Visa Diary is here to help you understand. Okay, this is the most important part of this video. I know it can feel overwhelming when you hear about all these changes, but knowledge is power, and here is exactly what I recommend you do right now, based on the latest situation. Step 1. Check your visa status and expiry date. Do you know when your current visa expires? Do you know what conditions are attached to it? Many people are caught off guard because they don't stay on top of their visa details. Log into your UK Visas and Immigration account and verify everything today. Step 2. If you're planning to apply as soon as possible. Immigration rules change frequently, and applications that are accepted today may not be accepted under the new rules coming next month. If you have been sitting on the fence about applying for a visa, extension, or settlement, now is the time to move. Don't wait. Step 3. Check if your employer's sponsor license is still valid. For those of you on a skilled worker visa, your right to live and work in the UK is tied to your employer's sponsor license. You can check the register of licensed sponsors on the UK government website. If your employer is not on that list, you need to take action immediately and speak to an immigration lawyer. Step 4. Make sure your income meets the new thresholds. Whether you are applying for a new visa or planning to sponsor a family member, verify that your salary or income meets the current minimum requirements. These thresholds have changed, and many people are unaware of the new figures. Step 5. Get professional immigration advice. I cannot stress this enough. UK immigration law is complicated, it is constantly changing, and the stakes are incredibly high. One wrong answer on your application, one missing document, one misunderstood requirement, and your visa can be refused. Please seek advice from a qualified, OISC registered immigration advisor or a solicitor who specializes in UK immigration law. So what can we expect in the coming months? Based on all the signals coming from the UK government, we are going to see continued tightening of immigration routes. There are ongoing reviews of the graduate visa, further changes to the family immigration rules, and increased enforcement activity across the country. There are also upcoming changes to the points-based immigration system that could affect skilled worker applications, particularly in sectors that have previously relied on overseas recruitment. The good news? None of this is secret. The UK government publishes its policy statements, and at UK Visa Diary, we monitor every single development so that you always know what is coming before it arrives. That's everything for today's video. I know it's a lot to take in, but I hope you feel more informed and more prepared after watching this. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this information. And if you have a question, leave it in the comments below. I read every single comment, and I do my best to help. Don't forget to subscribe to UK Visa Diary and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Because in the world of UK immigration, things can change overnight. Until next time, stay informed, stay prepared, and I'll see you in the next video.